All right. As we move on to the next category, this is best use of song. Again, I do love the variation here as we don't just consider original songs in film, but also Nita drops pre-existing music as they can equally have these impactful moments. So let's get into best use of song. Dave, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm so glad you do this, by the way, because I'm looking at my list and I think there's only one original song on here.
Nice.
The rest
Yeah.
of them are kind of pre-recorded, pre-done before.
Yeah.
So the first nominee is Creep and the Air That I Breathe in Heretic.
Okay.
Come As You Are in Queer.
Mm-hmm.
One Less Lonely Girl in My Old Ass, the Justin Bieber moment in that film. Compress Repress from Challengers by Trent Reznor and Ross. And I think maybe my sole nominee from this movie, Defying Gravity from Wicked. Wicked, I'm not a big fan of, but that number, Cynthia Erivo kills it.
She belts it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you don't pay attention to the cinematography, it's a really good movie. So
absolutely agree with that. Oh my goodness.
It's just too bad it's a visual art form. I mean, other than that, it's pretty
but the
good.
song is good. The song's really great.
It is. I mean, and we've known for years. And I was really happy also to put the one from Heretic on because I like when a song is tied to the theme and the plot of the movie. It's not just like a cool song in the background. So I really just let me listen to Hugh Grant talk like for an hour. That's fine.
I wanted to love that movie so much more. I thought the first third, maybe first half were actually quite good. That was about it.
Yeah, it definitely changes after the first
not for
half.
the better.
I mean, and the winner is Come As You Are from Queer. I think it's, of course, thematically resonant, right? When you're talking about a queer character and a queer story, Come As You Are. And also William S. Burroughs and Kurt Cobain had a bit of a friendship near the end there. So I kind of tied into the author's real life too. And honestly, you could pick any needle drop from Queer and I'd be like, maybe it's that one. And like it just kept happening. Like that one, I like that one. That one's great. Like, they're all great.
It's amazing how it works, considering how a song like that and really every needle drop in Queer post-dates the events of the movie by almost 20 to 30 years.
Yeah, I love it.
Dave, you're sure you don't like that movie?
There are things I love.
That's two winners now.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I know. It's just like in the Oscars when you get like all the below the line winners where you're like, technically this is very impressive, but the movie never really comes together. And I will say, I really hope that the song from Challengers gets nominated for the Oscars. I just think that would be so cool if that happened.
That would be cool. You're right.
I would love that. But
yeah. Come As You Are by Nirvana and Queer is also a nominee for me, as well as Greatest Day from Honora, like I talked about earlier with its opening credit sequence. It's utilized twice in that movie, and I think both times it's really effective. I have Let Me Entertain You by Robbie Williams from Better Man. I have Starburned and Unkissed by Carolyn Polachek from I Saw the TV Glow. And I wanted to pick something from Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, but that's like, I could pick every jazz number from that movie and it technically works as a great nominee. If I had to single one out, maybe the utilization of Wild as the Wind from Nina Simone, I think is probably the most emotionally affecting. So that's my last nominee there.
It's like, my nominee is 3 hours of jazz.
That's the whole movie.
I probably could have picked 5 nominees from Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and I would have been more than happy.
It's the most Brendan Cassidy thing I've ever heard.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to go do that. 4 nominees from Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat. My last nominee is my winner, and that's also Come As You Are from Queer. So I knew that was going to win regardless of what I had nominated alongside it, for all the reasons you talked about there, Dave. And it was also one of my scenes of the year. I talked about that in episode 618. So I won't go into it much again, just for white noise, but yeah, I thought it was really quite great.
I just love the idea of like, my nominee is jazz music in general, like just all of it,
just
like
all the jazz music nominee for me. 2024.
I love jazz music so much. I think I might start a jazz podcast sometime.
Good stuff there. All right, my nominees for best use of song. My first nominee is Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot. Love that number and how it's utilized in that film. Starburn and Unkissed from I Saw the TV Glow is my next nominee here. Come As You Are from the film Queer is a nominee for me. My fourth nominee is The Homeless Wanderer from All We Imagine as Light. It's a great number that you hear a couple of times early on in the film and kind of helps set the tone in terms of the contrast between our two central characters. And then my fifth nominee here might come as a little bit of a surprise for those that know how I feel about the film. And as I was doing my homework for this category, I listened to the song and I could not get it out of my head. And I've listened to it 1,000
I think I know
times.
I think I know where he's going with
I'd be
this.
shocked if you do.
Okay.
I'm curious. What do you think it is?
I think you're going with the opening song from Hundreds of Beavers.
No.
Because I know how much you feel
no.
or how you feel about that movie. I thought you were
but
going
you're
with
on the right track.
The Applejack song. I thought you were going with.
Yeah, no. Definitely not that one. But your mentality, your thinking is in the right place.
Okay. Well, then I give up.
The film is Smile 2. New Brain from Smile 2 specifically.
Nice.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. The songs kick butt in that movie.
Love that. Yeah, no, it's funny because I was going through Trap, right? Because I was listening to the album for that because I was like, surely something from this is going to really resonate because I listened to it when it came out. It had been a while. So I went through all of Trap, was enjoying that. And I hadn't really listened to the soundtrack to Smile 2. So I was like, similar-ish vibes, right? So I was like, I'll go ahead and throw on Smile 2. And then I think I loved that album more than Trap even.
Oh, I think Trap's a better movie than Smile 2.
I agree.
2, but I think
agree.
the soundtrack is better for Smile 2.
Yeah, exactly. I was quite surprised because when I'm watching Smile 2, and maybe it's because I was so disappointed by the film that the soundtrack just didn't really register with me in the moment. But then listening to it away from the film, it just hit me in a different way. So
I need
I
a
love
new
it.
brain.
Love New Brain. So that is my fifth nominee here. I have no idea how many times this has happened. Not all that often. I'd have to go back through the archives to
3 for
do
3.
the research.
It's 3 for
We are
3.
3 for 3 here.
Yeah.
3 for 3.
Wow.
Come As You Are from Queer is also my winner for best use of song. So
It's just
we are
that
all
good.
Yeah,
so
it's
smart. God, all three of us, so smart.
great stuff. I completely agree with you guys, though. The
that
way
Kurt
that song is
Cobain,
utilized, it's
that
perfect.
Nirvana, they were good at their jobs.
Not bad.
Really good.
Not bad.
Really, really good. I don't know if Luca has talked about it. I'm sure there's an interview where he has, but I'd be curious to hear him talk maybe in more detail, like how that thought even came to his mind to throw that over that whole sequence.
He must have good taste in alternative music, given Nirvana's placement in Queer. The fact that he chose to work with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who have a history with Nine Inch Nails, obviously.
Yeah.
Sufjan Stevens from Call Me by Your Name. Tom York from Radiohead for Suspiria.
Yeah,
so
for Suspiria, yeah. You're right. I mean, it's obviously a style of music that he clearly delves into and loves. So I'm sure it was always lingering there, and there's the symbolic purposes that you guys have already talked about. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So it might have just something that came to him naturally. I don't know.
I actually heard an
it's
interview with him, and the friendship between the author and the singer is a big piece.
Is a big
of
part
why
of it.
he and he just
Eric
like
talked about
the
that in
title.
Yeah.
The title is like, it's right there. I mean, it's like, Come As You Are. Yeah. I mean, that is, and at that period of time, the only place that character could be who he was by going to a different country and fleeing the United States. And it's like, this fits.
Yeah.
Makes
great.
a lot of sense. Absolutely.
Great stuff.